Okay, so here we have a W204. It's a 2008, and we have taken down our panel and put it over there. And to get to the steering lock cable, you can see this cover over the brake pedal, and then you can also see there is this plug. Now this plug is for the brake. Do not try and pull it out. Just pull the plug out by going down. If you pull it out, you reset it. You're gonna have to go through a reset to put it all back. So now that we've got that down, there's a clip here that you just lift it up and pull it over. Now you grab this and yank. So once you yank it, it undoes the clips, and then they're a pain to get out. But this is where that brake sensor is, and this is the clip that holds the wire that goes to it. So we're gonna stack that up with the other stuff, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to see this. You can see where my hand is. See that plug? That plug is the cable that goes to the ESL. Now, you can unplug it there if you're trying to make a key, but if you are trying to replace the ESL with an emulator, you have to actually go back to the ESL and unplug it. And I would love to be able to show you how to do that, but it's all by feel. So I'm gonna unclip it, and then I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so this is the cable that plugs into the ESL. Now, when it's in the ESL, it is situated, yeah. Okay, it's situated just like this, pointing towards the back. So what I do is I reach up, and with one finger, I push in lock while I'm using another finger to just kind of put tension on it. And you push this in, and you'll hear it kind of click. Once you do that, don't push it back in, don't push this way. Just grab your other finger. And for me, it usually works out to where I'm like this, where I'm over the top of it, and I just use my other fingers. I push this in, and then just the rest of my hand, I pull it out. Once you have it out, get it down here. Now you're good to go. Now you get to do your programming. Okay, so this is an emulator, and no, I didn't get this from a Britus. We're actually using a different one. And you know what? I'll let you folks figure out where I got this from. So, I'm not going to complain. I haven't had any comebacks on these. So right now I'm going to get in, and we're going to program that, and we'll go through the sequence. Okay, so we have read our EZS data, and we've gotten the key password, and now I'm going to save that. And this is going to be a 2008 W204. We're going to save this data. Okay, and if you're having troubles reading the data, turn the lights on, turn them off, do all that stuff, because you have to keep the bus alive. So now we're going to read coding. So now I'm going to save the coding. 204, oh, it's a 2008 W204. Okay. So now we've saved all the data, and we have the key password. So now what we're going to do, and I know this is kind of scary sometimes, but okay. So let's go look. I always try and prove this to people because people are like, no, 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 no. You just program it. Okay, let's keep the CAN bus going. Okay, so we're reading the ESL. We're actually reading the emulator. Okay, so you see everything there. So watch what happens when you try and personalize it. By diagnostic connection to the ESL is not possible direct programming. This function will transfer all the needed data from the EZS. See what it says? Personalization of your ESL is not possible. Personalization of this type ESL is available only if your EZS is still not activated. So let's go back. No. Darn it, I hit the wrong one. Bummer. Bummer, dude. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, there it is. Let's go back to the EZS EIS, and we're going to read it. And if you notice, see how everything's dark? Okay, but see how it's personalized and activated? The big deal is activated. If it's personalized, you can go ahead and transfer data to the emulator. If it's not, then you're kind of screwed. So this is what we do. We make sure we got a key password, and I already saved that data. So now this is where you take that leap of faith. Remember, read, get the password, and then read the coding. Make sure you have all of that before you start this. So turn the key, not the key, but turn the lights on, turn them back off. Now we're going to virginize it. Okay. And now I got to go get a infrared adapter. Shit, I always forget something. Okay, so we've read our EIS data, and I went and I grabbed my new USB key. My old one, which went on the end of the box, it worked just fine, but I was told that these actually work better by my buddy. So I went ahead and I got one. And it actually does work a little bit better. Now, you notice I'm turning on lights and turning off lights. Okay, so now we're going to virgin. Processing data, it sees the key. So now we're going to EIS, reset. Okay, so you notice we're back to virgin. Oh my gosh, I don't know. No. So now what we're gonna do, we are gonna click on personalization. If you have, press yes. If not, press no. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna select our bin, and then we're gonna reinsert our EIS adapter. Okay, so now, and this is where I can't stress enough, do not put a key. Do not put a key into the EIS. Because watch what happens when it reads the EIS data. See how it says EZS is personalized but not activated? Guess what? Now, let's go over to our ESL. We're going to read it. And I'm going to try and wipe my nose without being too rude. Okay. So we're reading the emulator. So now, when we try and personalize it, watch what happens now. It says it cannot be done, but it will transmit all data from the EZS to the ELV. Do you want to do it? Well, yes, I do. See how now it says data transfer? And I don't know if you just heard that, but you can hear the ESL go. Now, just so you know, this works for emulators, and it also works for brand new ESLs bought from Mercedes. Okay, so now we're ready to go. Now, just so you know, please do not forget this step. Go back to the EZS, EIS, and read it again. See how it's not activated? That's not a problem. But what I want to tell you right now, if you don't write the coding, that's our right VIN. See how it says error cannot be established with the unit? So this is where you click on write coding, select your file, and then before you do anything, turn that key, or the lights, sorry, turn the lights on and off. And now try and program it. See how now it's done? Now if we read the coding, see how it's got our VIN number and everything? If you don't do that, what'll happen is you will have all kinds of trouble lights with the traction control and stuff like that. Okay, so now if we read, see how it says EZS is personalized but not activated? You don't have to go back here and hit activate or anything. Just take one of the keys, put it in the ignition, and you hear this. All of a sudden it starts working. So this thing's got some problems. But just so you know, that's how you do an emulator, at least with a British. Now, I know a lot of you are going to sit here and say, oh, it takes too long, it does this. But if you have one of these blue things, show me how to do it. I haven't figured out how to do it with that one yet. The British always works for me. See you on the next one. Okay, so you have gone through, you have looked at everything, you have programmed your emulator, and come on, not opened. Oh, what did I do? Did I unplug something? Uh-oh. Okay, so you've turned on the key all the way, and so if you notice, there was all kinds of warnings up there, and when you go to the adaptive brake and you read it, so stability, check coding, but see what it says, brake light switch? Remember how we were talking about that brake switch that we had to disconnect? If you start this up without that, you're gonna get that. So now, okay, so 0 fault codes. So now we close the module and you don't have those problems anymore. Oh, isn't that kind of cool? The British is backwards in the cluster. But hey, just a tech tip for the day. Everything's good, but make sure that you plug in the brake switch.